Hey there guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Diamond DeLorean and today we are going to be attempting the Quinjet loot only challenge. Now, the rules of this challenge are, of course, I can only use the guns that I find at the Quinjet, and I'm allowed to go pick up any other heals I find anywhere else. I'm allowed to use any ammo I find anywhere else, and I'm allowed to also use the Stark robots that are at the Quinjet. And yeah, if you guys do go on to enjoy this video, please do leave a like and subscribe, it really does help me out, and I'll see you guys in the game. I decided to drop down to the Quinjet spawn that's right next to Steamy Stacks, but I noticed that someone else was dropping here with me. I didn't know how I was going to get a gun straight off spawn, because the Stark robots are everywhere and always guarding the Quinjet, so it was a risk going straight into it. I then noticed I could land on one of the drones and probably pickaxe it to get one of the guns, so I did exactly that. To start, I got a blue charged shotgun and quickly ended a few robots' lives just to get some people to help me out. I then searched his chest to grab a green burst, and realizing that the other guy was inside the Quinjet, I quickly tried to sneak over to see if I could kill him before he figured out I was here too. I charged up my shotgun, moved into the Quinjet, and ended this poor guy's life. I then went around to all the downed robots and started to hack them so I could have a few friends to help me fight. After all of that, I started to shoot down all the drones to see what guns I was allowed to use for the rest of the round. So far I found a green AR, a blue charge, and this blue SMG, and that is what I kept for the rest of the game. I then noticed that the storm circle was over the complete other side of the island, so I thought that the quickest way to get there would be going straight over the new Stark Industries island. While I was here, I decided to grab a few mats that would help me later on. As I was approaching this house, I realized that someone was inside of it, so I started to build to get above him, but then I realized he was actually down in the basement healing up, so I quickly broke the door and ended this poor guy's life. I realized I didn't have that much mat, so I decided to break this rock to get a bit of brick, when all of a sudden the guy started to shoot at me from behind. I started to build up, he got a good shot on me, so I sat down a bit low to try to just figure out where this guy was, because I had no idea where he was. He kept shooting at my builds, so I had to keep them up so he couldn't hit me. And then finally I realized where this guy was actually shooting from. I started to fire a few bullets back, getting a decent amount of shots in, getting rid of his entire shield. I then healed up, because I thought that's exactly what this guy would be doing. I then had to figure out how I was going to get over there, so I decided to rush for this guy. I built up a bit so he couldn't shoot me, got up here, and then realized I had the perfect angle to finish this guy off. I then headed down into Pleasant Park because I heard fighting going on, and I thought there would be a few easy kills there. I wanted to get rid of the guy who had the Doom Mythics and leave them in the Storm, because I didn't want to be going up against someone who had the Mythic weapons when I only had the Quinjet loot. I quickly ended that guy's life who wasn't looking my way, and then realized that there was another guy who he was fighting. I built up, trying to get the high ground on this guy, but he was cranking for it. I then realized that he had given up trying to take the high ground, so I tried to get into his box. He coned me so I couldn't get in, and I tried to go from the side but failed that too. I realized this guy wasn't going to let me in without a fight, so I sat here and waited for him. I knew this guy also had the Thorn Mythic by this point, so I quickly shot through his wall. He used the Thorn Mythic, knocking us all down. I charged him and ended this guy's life too. I then didn't realize that the Thorn Mythic had dropped into the basement, but I wasn't allowed to use that anyway. Then I noticed that someone was shooting at me with the Doom Mythics. I didn't know if this was a player, so I killed him and then realized it was actually Doom. I ran over to Doom and finished him off with a shotgun blast. I then built a huge box to hide the mythics so no other player could take them. The circle was really getting quite small at this point, so I decided that I would have to get the high ground, so I ran up onto this mountain using a bounce pad, so I could get the high ground and try to see where people were. By this point, I noticed that there was someone running on the mountain just across from me, so I decided to start shooting at him. I pummeled this guy quite a lot, to the point where he was already on like half health, so I decided it was time to go in for the rush and pressure him so he couldn't heal up. As long as I did that, this guy would be on low health and would be a pretty easy kill. I thought this guy was on the first floor, but it turns out he was actually on the second floor, so I decided to build up there. By this point, he already got like a big pot off or something, so I at least knew he had shield. I quickly then had the low ground by this point because this guy secured the high ground. I decided to edit out of my little hiding spot and go and see if I could get an angle on this guy. I realized he was up in this box up there, so I tried to get a lucky bullet spray and hit him with at least one of my bullets, see if that would kill him. I then realized this guy was going to try to rush up, so I built up too, ready to rush him. I managed to secure the high ground against this guy, but that wouldn't help me. He then went around the side of my box trying to break it down, so I jumped down, and then he jumped off the building. I realized this guy was on low health because of the way he was playing, so I shot him quite a bit to make sure he still had shield, which he did, and I decided to see if I could get him out of his cover. He ran around and was trying to escape me, and then I realized he was trying to build up again. I charged my shotgun and one pumped him. By this point I realized there were only two other players left, and from the box I was in, to get to the circle I had to destroy this tree, so I had to be very careful, and when all of a sudden I was sniped, I decided to try to heal up before I go into this fight, because I knew this guy probably had full shield, a decent amount of mats, and he most certainly had the skills to shoot me with a sniper. He then tried to run at me, but I missed all my shots while he was doing that. I started to build a ramp to try to rush him, but he shot that down pretty quick, so I backed up, trying to think of a way I could get over to where this guy was. I knew he was staying in that box, and I knew that was his plan to just sit there because he was in the circle and I was not. So I tried to think of a plan when then I noticed I still had bounce pads in my inventory and I could probably rush him with some type of bounce pad contraption. I realized he was building up, so I went over for the rush and charged him and quickly took the low ground. I healed up to help me in this fight, because I didn't have much health. This guy then tried to rush me while I was healing, and I successfully killed him. By this point I noticed it was a 1v1. I didn't know where the final guy was, and then I spotted him over the other side of the hill. I quickly tried to shoot him, but missed all my shots in the process. So I decided to build up, and then I realized this guy wasn't building. I was kind of confused on why this guy wasn't building. Maybe he just didn't have mats, because I didn't think it was a bot. So I shot him with my shotgun, quickly built up again so he couldn't get another shot on me, because I was getting quite low by this point. And because I only had minis as a heal, I didn't have any medkits or any big pots to help me get more health. I didn't want to get hit by this guy because I could be a one-shot kill to him. I realized he was hiding in the bush and quickly won the game. Anyway guys, if you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like and subscribe, it really does help me out. I hope you guys did enjoy this challenge, and if you want to see more challenge videos, please do recommend them. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and for now, goodbye.